It is unreal, oh my gosh.
A big thank you to MPB for sponsoring today's video.
Oh mates, it is absolutely brutal up here. So we are heading up. This is just the start of it, man. We're heading up what's a mountain range actually called An Chuluk. And where I parked the van for me last night, I could see the whole stretch of the mountain range. And I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna come in close for this one. I'm feeling a little bit intimidated, a fair bit intimidated actually. Which means that I'm just gonna take my time. You can see it's even a bit icy up there. The winds are heavy, man. It's forecast a bit of rain. I'm not gonna mess about. If I don't feel right, I'm turning straight back around and coming down the same way. But we've got a lot of time. I'm just gonna see how it goes. I'm mad to get up there. I've wanted to go up for ages. I actually took a photograph of this mountain range over a year ago now from a mountain across over in Koigach that I can see now actually, that was called Skuranida, and ever since then I've always wanted to go up this range, you know. It looks so sinister and intimidating, and I think that's part of the draw to it, you know. So we'll see how far we make it up. Like I say, I'm going to play it by ear, and if we do start making it up, guys, the views are going to be immense, let me tell you. But this wind, oh. Oh guys, so it's been quite a drab, dreary climb so far, I must admit. You can see behind us, we are getting some nice views, extensive views. I'm not feeling like there's anything close enough to be getting the camera out for. It's even too far away for the long lens, I feel. But yeah, it's been very much a arduous, slow, gradual climb so far, and we're at the point now where we're on this sort of plateau, this bit of moorland, and I'll just turn the camera around and show you. We are heading up through there, so once we get up to that area up there, there's then another plateau, I think, to then we'll get to the point where we'll start going up some of the proper peaks, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, I feel like I do this a lot, but I'm holding out hope on the weather forecast. It is supposed to improve as the day progresses, as the afternoon progresses into the evening, and dare I say it, we may even get some light as well. But for now, it is just trudge, trudge, trudge. So here we go, here's the snow. I suppose this was the rain that was forecast. You know what? I'm in two minds with this. It's quality first and foremost. First snowfall of the year, I suppose, for me, and this is my favourite time of the year in general and for photography. But at the same time, I spoke about it before, didn't I? These mountains are no joke. I'm happy with my gear and everything. I feel comfortable at the minute, but I'm just going to obviously keep going for a bit and see how I get on. Keep playing it by ear. If at any point I feel like I'm not up to being up here in these conditions, just straight back down, like I said before. But for now, we're okay. So, trying to grab a quick shot here, trying to be a little bit creative. And basically, it's a really simple photograph. The path that I've been coming up here, the hiking track, seems to be catching the snow first, and they've become these like ideal leading lines for me, really. Then we've got this small little cairn, this collection of rocks here, putting him on the right hand side, and then we've got a little bit of this bigger mountain behind us. He looks great because he's covered in all that snow and ice, really telling the story of the conditions, you know. And he's just got a nice bit of low cloud sitting on top of him. But what's I think's really making it is these pathways are leading down into the distance, and them mountains over there are quality because they've got these weather conditions in amongst them as well. So it's just layers and layers of ridge lines, and there's a few small little lochans as well shimmering off in the distance. So hopefully the camera picks that up. Now, where I'm trying to be a bit creative is to try and capture the snowfall. At the minute, you can see it's not too heavy, it's been heavier. So I'm actually putting my settings at F8, ISO 2500 to allow me to get 1/500th of a second. Really quick shutter speed, not normally the sort of thing that I do. But yeah, I'm in at 24 millimeters, nice and wide, and it's all about trying to freeze the snowfall in the air, you know, really tell the story of this moment in time. So fingers crossed that one will come out okay. And yeah, onwards and upwards into the snow. So that you can see behind me, ladies and gents, or that you can't see behind me, ironically, is today's final destination, or it's supposed to be. Not a chance am I going up in that, no way. First and foremost, for safety's sake, that would just be daft. Secondly, what frigging photographs am I going to take up in there? Yes, it could clear, I hear one or two of you saying, but I'm not willing to take that risk. So it's a bit of a downer, isn't it? I find it well annoying on hikes because you just have that, it's point A to point B, isn't it? And all day you're thinking about the point B, the moment when you get there. So when something like this happens, gutted, it's a proper downer, but it is what it is. You know, I think I've mentioned this in the past couple of YouTube videos. As landscape photographers, we have to be adaptable. This is another perfect example of it. I can't control this. So all I'm going to do is, I've just had a little look on the Ordnance Survey maps actually, and there's a few little lochans dotted about up here. It's not, you know, we're still high up here, but we're not up in all of that cloud. And I think it might just be a nice little point of interest, perhaps something I could use for some photographs or something, you know. And basically just choosing a new point B to make myself feel better. But yeah, conditions are nice, so I'm going to try and stay positive whilst the snow flies into my eyeballs. Views are really nice. We're looking out to the coast. We can see loads of little lochs and lochans off in the distance. It's wonderful. Loads of peaks, and it is dramatic. You know, the conditions are decent. So I've just got to try and stay positive, even though the plan's changing somewhat. Still a bit of a downer though, isn't it? So in the end, I decided against going down to that lochan. Firstly, it was well further than I thought, and it was really sort of downhill. I'm actually not too far from where I spoke to you last. I was looking on the OS maps again, and I just seen that there was this huge, like, sort of glen here, right next to us, really. It was just a case of walking over to it. And let me tell you this, it is impressive. It's unbelievable, man. A true sense of scale of these mountains, and I feel like an ant, let me tell you. Always a good feeling when you're in the mountains, I find. So I'm as close to the cliff edge as I feel is sensible, probably past that point. But I'm just grabbing a photograph here. Oh, I'm going to get it now actually. And we've got some of these absolutely beautiful rocks down here in the foreground, absolutely like stacks of pancakes. They're amazing. Don't quote me on this, but I think these are some of the oldest rocks on planet Earth. I think I read it in the Photograph in Scotland book, so don't quote me on it. Maybe go and have a bit of research if you're interested in that sort of thing. How cool is that, man? They've just been chilling here for millions and millions of years. And there's me now, giving him a stroke. So, wide angle lens, 14 millimeters, really trying to capture it all, man. But critically, I'm using a fair bit of foreground, and what we've got is this letter U shape underneath. The foreground is a letter U of these pancake rocks. We've got some of the snow down here near our feet to you know, tell the story of that. It is absolutely class. And then on the right hand side over here to your right, we've got a little bit of what is like Anchuluk actually, and it's nicely balanced, you know, with that U shape. The whole glen mimics that U shape, same as the foreground, so it feels nicely balanced. The only thing that I'm not delighted with, I'd say, is the sky. Look at it, it's a bit, there's not much detail. It's just a load of clag, like low cloud, pretty flat, but I suppose at the very least he's framing the top of the photograph. Only other thing to mention with this image is I'm focus stacking it. For me, I feel like it's critical. It's a photograph that's all about the detail and the texture of these rocks, you know. So from this one to the one that's hanging off the edge of the cliff just down there, so important, man, that I get all of that gorgeous detail in this image. Not a bad consolation photograph. Oh guys, so look at this right over there. We are getting patches of light in the background of that composition I was just getting. It's starting to clear up. Look, here's Anchuluk. Oh my goodness, man. It's good. It's good. That looks like light over there, does it not? So we're still about an hour till the sunset. I'm just going to jump around here. Still about an hour till the sunset. So I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I might leg it up and see how high I can get up. Before I decide, I want to say another big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is MPB. Really grateful for their support. MPB is a fantastic platform that you could use to buy or sell used photography or videography equipment. My Nikon Z30, which is filming me now, which films all of my vlogs recently, was purchased from MPB recently, used. They've got a quality grading system on their website. I'll put the link in the video description below. Definitely go and have a look. But yeah, it's really reassuring when you're buying used gear because of this grading system, and each photograph that you see is of the specific item that you're buying, not just a stock image of that specific camera or, you know, microphone or lens, whatever it may be. So that's really good. Definitely go and check it out. But where MPB come into their own is where you can sell gear to them. They will send a courier to your house. All you've got to do is box it up, and they'll send the courier free of charge and take that gear away for you. And then they'll put the money in your bank within a couple of days, of course, as long as everything's all right with the gear. Brilliant. So as I always say, it's like a no-brainer. If you've just got gear lying around, gathering dust, you may as well get a bit of money for it. Come out on trips like this, or, you know, upgrade your gear, whatever. So yeah, another massive thank you to them. Like I say, all that info is in the video description below. Quality, right? Oh, I'm gonna leg it up here. I'm gonna leg it up. I'm shattered. I'm shattered. I don't know how far up I am. I feel heartbroken. The light looks amazing, man. All I can do is just keep going and hope for the best. Gosh, this is familiar, isn't it? I always seem to be doing this stuff. Right, this is going to be a test of my fitness. I made it up, man, and guess what? You know what? Because you can see it behind me. Oh, no. The clouds come in. It's 15 minutes till sunset. And this cloud's, I'll tell you what, it's going to go. Mark my words. I'm a blind optimist. So, I'm just going to get myself up to the highest point, because look at these rocks, man, with the snow on them. Untouched snow. I guess this is what was falling earlier. Is that a gap, man? It's a gap if I've ever seen one. How's that blind optimism for you? Oh my gosh, man. So I'm going to walk around these and just try and be careful as not to put footprints everywhere, because I'm likely going to have some of these badgers in my composition. It's clearing. It's clearing. I don't know for how long. All we can do is hope. Oh my gosh. Look at these rocks behind my massive head. They are unbelievable, mate. We've got them pancake rocks again. So I don't really know what I'm doing here. I am hoping for a brief moment where it's going to clear in the background. Can you see me all right? Yeah, it's all right, innit? Just one little moment is all I need. Tripod is getting sacked off, camera's in hand, ISO's going up, I do not care. A photograph with a bit of noise is better than missing out, because I'm just waiting for a gap. Waiting for a gap, man. I don't even know if these are going to lead into anything in the background. This is a nightmare. It's also dodgy as well. Oh, I tell you what, it's clearing. My gosh, let me film this for you. My golly gosh. Oh, hang on, let's get the camera settings right. Look at this, man. It's clearing, it's clearing. And down there, can you see, look, there's like a loch. Wow. Holy heck, this is unreal, man. Right, I need to get my photography head on. I need to get my photography head on. Oh my God, I could be sick. I could be sick. Oh, wow. Need I even say anything, man? There's been a couple of little tears. They're probably just frozen now. In there, you Klinsman. She's a Klinsman. Klinsman down to the loch, man. Absolute adrenaline through the veins, man. Oh. That was amazing. I cannot believe I made it up. I can't believe it. Look at this. You can't take a bad photograph up here. It doesn't matter that I know what I'm doing with my camera. You could be up here with your phone. You take some beast. Look at it. Friggin' hell. So, 2 words for you. Hoping one or two of you know what's coming here with the camera in a portrait orientation. Oh, I'm trying to get up. Panic, pano. I'm going to do another one now because it's changing so much. Panic, pano. For a couple of reasons. Firstly, and most importantly, I'm doing the pano because I just think a pano is going to work. It's the perfect way to shoot what I'm looking at now. So we're in the blue hour now, which is, you know, beggars can't be choosers, but it's unbelievable. But yeah, the pano as well. Second reason I'm doing it. Am I just babbling here? Like, second reason I'm doing it is because if all else fails, I can just use 1 or 2 of these shots together and then make, you know, a normal shot so it's not a pano. Hope that makes sense. Just basically getting loads of photographs on the memory card that I can stitch together in post if it all goes to pot. Wow, unbelievable. So whatever happens here, I'll show you whichever one worked, if any worked at all. So I thought I'd show you there 2 different versions of what is, as you can see, pretty much exactly the same composition. The one on the top is a 5-shot horizontal pano, whereas the image on the bottom is just a straight shot, so very similar. But I don't know which one I prefer. I think they've both got sort of different qualities, although quite similar. You know, the one on the top, the pano, it's got this almost sort of distortion, like kind of wide angle effect, and you can really see it in the foreground. It's almost like this U shape, and I don't know, I think I quite like that. You know, it helps to frame the bottom of the photograph, it helps to frame the mountain range and the loch that you can see. And yeah, I don't know, it's quite nice. Whereas the one on the bottom feels a bit more, I don't know, I want to use the word traditional, you know. A nice straight photograph is what it is. But both, you know, really nice in their own right, I think so. But yeah, maybe comment below, let me know which one you prefer. Like I say, although quite similar, they do have some small differences. That was outrageous. I could not really have wished for any better than that. So the bag is packed up. One of the best evenings I've ever had out in my life with my camera in this location when everything started opening up. That was so special. This Scotland trip's the best photography trip I've had in my life, but like already by a mile. The conditions have been so good to me, man. Now for the small task of getting down from this mountain. How exciting. just going to take it nice and slow. It's all I can do, one step at a time, isn't it? And I hope you enjoyed it. If there's probably a couple more images that I'd like to show you at the end. Thank you so very much for your support. I appreciate it greatly. I'm going to say it one last time now. This is 100% now. I'm sorry I've mentioned it quite a few times. This is the last chance to buy my calendar. Any purchases are appreciated like you couldn't imagine, because it allows things like this to happen in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. I really, really am. Thank you so much to everyone who's purchased one of my calendars as well. It proper means the world, like, thank you. Yeah, that'll be in the video description below. Quality. Thanks again, cheers for the support, and I shall see you on the next adventure from Scotland. Whatever are we going to get next? Out!